We just want to kick off with asking Jermaine, what's your take on Benefit Street?
I think Benefit Street is a full-on fabrication program aimed at whipping up hysteria amongst the British public. I honestly believe that. I think the producers have a certain agenda, and I don't think the issues have been correctly portrayed in that program whatsoever.
You know, I've only seen Benefit Street a few times. What I can really compare it to is the Gypsy show that was on. I can't remember what it was called.
Big Fat Gypsy Weddings.
Yeah, that's the one. Tom's seen it.
Yeah, man.
And I just think, like, on the surface of it, it's like, oh, we're just documenting what it's like for these guys. But at the end of the day, it's on TV and it's for entertainment. And these people probably on there thinking that they're showing what their lives are like and sort of trying to garner some sort of sympathy for what their life's like. But they're just being exploited by the TV show.
Well, from what I've seen, like, you know, going on what Hisham's saying, I agree with him in terms that it's pure fabrication and pure entertainment, and I don't think it really reflects a true. Well, it's not fair on the rest of the country, and I think it's really sort of exaggerated in order to get the ratings and get the numbers. So in that sense, I think it's a load of rubbish.
I have my personal opinions on the show. I think there's people that have got genuine problems in that show. I do think there's people in there that are skanking the system. I personally know people that have skanked the system in the past to get where they want to in life. I.e., you know, lying to the government about whether they've been thrown out of their house so they can get a free flat. Yeah, there's loads of people who have done stuff like that. It's like Hisham was saying, 90% of the people on that road are on benefits. They make it sound like it's everyone's unemployed, whether it's housing benefit, whether it's job seekers or incapacity benefit. But I do think there's people in there genuine problems, and that needs to be addressed. What I don't like about that show is the way it's cut. It's like Hisham was saying, it's cut like a soap opera. Yeah, I make programs, and that you want to know what's going to happen next week. I mean, that shouldn't be a documentary on that. It should be an individual case by case basis with that program. Each person in that program should be highlighted on the individuals. I mean, it's like there's a character in there called White D, and she's like the mayor of the street. I mean, the whole thing is it's completely bizarre, really. But it's still, you know, people watch it. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I mean, Monday, I'm going to watch it. I want to know what's happened. I've been caught up as well.
Unemployment rates in the UK are 7.1% or 2.3 million as of November 2013, and that's a 4-year low. Job seekers allowance claimants are 1.25 million. Youth unemployment is 20%. Like, just so looking at these numbers, like, do you think? I'm just going to throw this question onto the floor. If whoever wants to pick up the answer. Do you think austerity measures are working in the UK?
I don't really think we're going through austerity, are we? As bad as places like Greece or Spain. Argentina, yeah. I mean, here they don't get anything.
Okay.
You know, so I don't feel that. I think the government is still pretty flexible, and I think the people that really require it probably still get what they deserve. You know, like some people can be on, if they've got incapacity benefit, job seekers allowance, and maybe a child or something, they could be getting £300 to £400 a week. You know, that's equivalent to a job of which is the national average is about £26,000 a year. So that's like almost having a salary of about £26,000 a year. So I think really, I don't think we're in massive austerity. I think this is all a result of years of government spending on things that they shouldn't have really spent the money on.
Do you feel like you've worked really, really, really hard and you're not really getting much out of it? I don't really know. I think the most that pensioners get on private pensions is about $1,200 a month or something like that. That's like the maximum if you've literally worked from the day you were born or whatever.
But I think it's too easy for people to skank the system. I really believe that, and because it's been like that for so long, and there is such we're in this, we're having such financial difficulty. The blame has to go somewhere, and because the pensions and everything, it's just one focus onto this. But these people have been skanking the system for years. Honestly, I mean. And then it's not even the people that you think are skanking the system, the people that are skanking the system. You know, people always point out the working class and say, they're working, they're unemployed. It's not even them. It's the people that are in good jobs. Those sometimes are the people that are skanking the system.
We make it so easy, as Jermaine was saying, to skank the system that people are thinking, well, I can get £30,000 easily a year. All I need to do is just claim a few more problems. Maybe I've got a problem in my leg, I've got a problem in my, wherever. And I think, that's just been a product of our sort of like, okay, well, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And as a result, people got comfortable. And who wants to leave a £30,000 a year benefit for not doing that much?
When it comes to salaries and taxing people too hard, I think people will just leave the country. I mean, if you look at our financial sector, that's what keeps that's what keeps keeping this country alive. We don't manufacture anything. So if you start, hacking at these people are earning higher money, then they'll just leave. I really do believe that. And I think sometimes you need the business sector is going to get us out of this predicament that we're in. But are we even in a predicament? It's like Tom was saying. If you look at all the different countries in the world, we've got it bloody good actually. We've got a national health service that we pay for out of our own pocket. We get taxed on that. Even that benefit alone is enough for me and my family. Having a national health service which is flipping free. I mean, come on, So I don't think the high earners should be taxed. I think they're getting taxed enough already.
Do you think the wealthy are the ones that will reap the benefits of any kind of GDP increase in the UK and leaving the poor behind, thus creating a bigger gap between the rich and the poor?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think in history it's always been the case, but the difference is the working class, instead of not being able to afford food and like all the sort of bare necessities, that gap's more of like a luxury gap, so the poor can still sort of afford what they need to survive, but the wealthy are just getting more power. The amount of money that comes out of the sort of every man's tax bracket is a sort of quite a painful amount, and I think the increase to the higher sort of categories of tax will be sort of less painful.
Rise in GDP. I think in any country, yeah. I think that, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Inflation goes up sometimes, and obviously price of houses goes down, so people buy up, and then a couple of years later, their investments they mature, and then they make more money.
What do you count as an immigrant, though? Like, there's so many different types of immigrants, and I think people have different stereotypes on different groups of people and how they arrived and why they arrived and when they arrived.
If you're an immigrant and you're coming over to England and you want to have a job and you want to make your life there, and you need a little bit of help to get onto that sort of job ladder, then I think I'm all for, like the government giving money to these people to help them out, get themselves established, because eventually they start paying back their tax, start paying back all that money that they've claimed from the state and more. So I think that's all good, but I think the people coming over and they basically abuse the system, I think that's wrong, because obviously we've got people in the country already, in the UK, who are British, who are using and abusing the welfare state, and I think that obviously that is just as wrong, if not worse. But I don't think people coming over should be allowed to do that.
Bulgarians, Romanians, Polish, this influx of kind of Eastern Europeans that are in England, particularly London, I think now. They all work really hard like that. I don't see them as people that sponge off the system. When I see Polish people in this country, I don't see them at the job centre. I see them working on, I see them doing construction, or I meet them at work, in my own work. So I think I'm just talking about what I think. You're asking how you think we should tackle immigration. I think that everyone's perception on immigration and what should be allowed and what shouldn't be allowed is different, and I think that is highly influenced by what people's perceptions are of different communities that are entering the country.
My view on immigrants, I don't think there is a problem at all. I think it's all just whipped up hysteria. Most of the immigrants that come over here want to work. They do want to work, and I think that if you go to it, if you've got a group of immigrants that have been put in a poor area, then obviously there's going to be people who are going to be worrying about, well, hang on, these guys are here, they're doing the same thing as us. But I guarantee you that most immigrants that I have met and that I know, they want to work.
people always have this misconception that immigrants are going to come here and have this, all right, I'm going to come to England and have benefits, which there are small amount of people that are just like, they're coming here for a benefit holiday. But at the end of the day, I think that eventually they're going to want to have a good life for themselves. Maybe they're going to have a little boost, a little bit of a comfort from having this benefits available to them. And I think the root of the problem is whatever is discussed in Brussels when the sort of European, the EU is going to be spread out over the Eastern European countries, etc. And I really think that there should be something set in precedent. So if a family's coming over to live in the UK and the father, for example, is working, then the mother can have benefits and she can have housing or child benefits, something like that. But if there's a whole family coming over with no prospect of work or whatsoever, I think they need to prove that they're going to start to work or something like that. So I think that's something that needs to be put in.
Should foreign criminals be deported and have their citizenship taken away from them?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of these people in Guantanamo Bay, for example, like they haven't been tried. They've just been sent to a camp, tortured every day. And I think obviously, well, my views kind of changed, I guess, from probably when we first went to war with Afghanistan, whatnot. But after reading up on it, I think it's it's against human rights.
Government trying to save cash or not spending money sending people to prison. If they're a UK citizen, I think they should be trialed here and punished here, and you take responsibility for who you're allowing to become a British citizen.
Kind of got a more of a hard line view on this actually. I think that if you come to this country and you've got British citizenship and you decide to commit crime, I think it should be taken away. I really believe it should be.
What's the level of crime though?
Well, if you've been convicted of a crime, then, I think okay, maybe it's the level of crime, but maybe the point system might work. But I believe that if you're over here and you've got British citizenship, you should be able to behave yourself.
Thomas, Hisham, Jermaine, you've been fantastic participants. Thank you so much for your time. And I think we've hit some interesting points